Good morning to all of you. Welcome to the free lecture series on electrical engineering. Here now we are going to discuss the lecture number 3.1. It is the additional conduction features of the DC machine. So firstly recall what we have learned in the last two classes. That like this, we have learned that DC machine basically having two types of windings are there. The first is the armature winding and second is the field winding. And we have seen the armature winding having slots like this fashion. It is having slots like this fashion, and we have put the windings in this armature slots. And by using some connection, that is our next discussion, we can easily make the armature winding. And this armature is rotated by an external prime mover. Then in this magnetic field, then we can say that there will be induced EMF in the armature conductors. Like this, A and A dash are the conductors. In one coil, there are two conductors, A and A dash. And this armature conductor is rotated in a constant magnetic field. Then there will be induced EMF generated in the conductor A and conductor A dash. And by using the Fleming right-hand rule, we are just calculating or analyzing the direction of the induced current or the induced EMF in this rotating coils. So during the positive half cycle, A will having a cross, so the current is entering in the conductor A, and A dash is having a dot, so the current is leaving from the conductor A dash, and it moves towards the commutator segment with the mica insulation and then going to the brushes and go to the load. Then what we have learned after the second half cycle, we have learned that the location of the A dash is changed, is occupied by the conductor A, and A is being occupied by the conductor A dash. So after the half cycle, there is a rotation of the coil. Since this are X and Y will also change, and we are saying that in the conductors A or the conductor A dash, the direction of the induced current is reverses, and the direction of the current at the load side is remains constant, plus here, and this is the plus, so we can obtain the DC like this fashion. Similarly, this was already completed. Similarly, we have also understand that like this, in the conductors is having, let us suppose this is the A conductor is moving from clockwise direction by an external prime mover, then we can say that at the location 1, the conductor A will having the maximum induced EMF because the velocity vector and the field vector having making an angle of 90 degrees. So E equals to BLV sin alpha, where alpha is the angle between the velocity vector or the force and the magnetic field B. So there is a 90 angle at the location 1. So there is a maximum induced EMF at this point. Similarly, if the conductor is reaches to a location point 2, then the velocity vector and the field vector in the same direction, so there is no induced EMF because the angle is 0. Similarly, at the location point 3, the velocity vector and the V vector is having angle 90, but it is phase opposition, it is 180 degree phase opposition with respect to phase A at location 1, so it is minus 90, and at last at point 4, the induced vector is 0. So this we have done, that in the conductor A it is 1 having the maximum induced EMF, and 2 is 0, and 3 it is become maximum but negative, and 4 it is 0, and 1 again it is maximum and negative. So we have seen that the induced EMF in the conductor A having a plus minus EA, and the plus minus basically we have changed the direction here, so we can't take a sign plus or negative here, so we have to take it a plus in the addition. So the output of voltage basically 2BL, and we have also learned that basically in a DC generator or a DC motor, there are two types of the flux are there. The first is the field flux. When the coil rotates, there is an induced current in the coil, and as per the Biot-Savart law, any current carrying coil will generates a field around it. So there is a one additional flux that is called armature flux. These two flux interact each other, that is the field flux and the armature flux, and we can say that all the flux are basically combined and like this fashion, and it behaves like a rubber band which tries to give a force of the conductor A in this direction and A dash in this direction. As a result, there is an electromagnetic torque is generated in this coil. So all the conductors in this periphery will having the force in the anti-clockwise direction, but we are giving the force in the clockwise direction. So we can say that the magnetic torque and the electromagnetic torque basically are opposite in nature in this DC generator, that we have already understand. And now we are moved towards the additional features of it just by making the connections. Conduction of DC machine part 3. So the induced EMF that we are get like this fashion, we are having the induced EMF like this. I think there is some problem is there. I need to make it. Some problem is there. Okay, this is part 3 and this was completed. Now just work. Now, conduction of DC machines. Now we have to move toward the conduction of the DC machine part 3. In this lecture, we are basically discuss about the additional features of the machine. The output voltage of the induced EMF is like this fashion. EA is having, this is position 1, it is again 0, then it is maximum, and again 0, it is maximum. So here the location point is 1, here the location point is 2, here is 3, here it is 4. Likewise, the DC obtained is basically like this fashion. This DC is called ripple DC. This is called ripple DC. In order to remove this ripple, or we can say that to reduce ripple, commutator segment must be increased. In order to reduce the commutator segment must be increased. What do you mean by the commutator segment increased? That we have to understand. So we can say that if we are increasing the commutator segment like this, let us suppose this is the basically the pole 1, the north, and this is the pole 2, this is the south, and here the commutator segment like this, we are using the commutator segment, 4 commutator segment we are using, the segment 1, the segment 2, segment 3, segment 4. It is the 1, 2, 3, and 4. The important condition is that number of segment, this is the very important note, number of commutator segment is equals to number of coils. Here in this machine I am using the 4 segments, so we have to put the 4 coils in this machine like this question. This is the coil 1, which is connected to the armature winding. Similarly, you can say that this is, I think there should be more clear manner. So this is the 1.2, 3, and 4. So we have to put the winding. So this is the one winding like this fashion. This is the another winding like this fashion. This is the another winding like this fashion, and this is the another winding like this fashion. So we are using the 4 segment, and they are making a necessary condition for designing is that the number of segment should be equal to number of coils. Here we are using the 4 segment, we are using the 4. And the brush is connected here in order to take the current. This is the connection of the brush. which are taken to the outside like this fashion. Here the load is connected like this, and this shaft is rotated by an external prime mover. So whenever this magnetic field which is going from north to south and this armature is rotated by an external prime mover at a speed of n, then there will be induced EMF in the coil 1, 2, 3, 4, and as a result the load is connected. This current will coming towards the commutator segment, and with the help of this brushing we are getting the load current. This is our basic operation that we have understood. But the thing is that at this point there will be zero induced EMF. At this point there will be zero induced EMF, and let us suppose at this point we are getting the plus, we are getting at this point we are getting basically, let's suppose plus 10 volt, and here we are getting the minus 10 volt, but the output of voltage we are getting the 20 volt. So what is the meaning of it? We are just increasing the commutator segment, but our objective is we have to decrease the ripple content. I have just given a line that whenever the commutator segment is increases, then the ripple content is decreasing. How we can achieve this? That we have to understand. So we can say that let us take a point. This is point A. This is the coil A. This is the coil B. This is the coil C. This is the coil D. If I just observing this location X, this is the location X. If I just observing the location X and try to make the conductor location, then we can say the induced EMF is basically like this fashion. At this point, A is having the maximum induced EMF, and it is moving from in a clockwise, and it is moving in the clockwise direction and achieving 0 volt. So this is the conductor A which is having 0 volt like this. This is the conductor A which is having a maximum point, and the conductor B is moving which is 0 at this point and getting the maximum value A, getting a maximum value of like this. So at this point the B is maximum and A is 0, and at this point if the A is moved from this point to the location D, then we can say that A is 0 and B is maximum. What about the C? At this point the C is basically negative maximum, and it is going to be like this. This is the position of C, and this is basically the position of B. Similarly, like this fashion, we can say that C will complete it here and D will move it toward like this. So what will happen? We are just able to minimize this ripple content, and we are just shifting the DC ripple from this to this is our actual DC from this point to this point. So just by adding the commutator segment, as the number of coils increases, then we can say that the induced EMF basically like this fashion we are obtaining. So we can say that we are almost getting the DC value which is like this. If we are increasing the commutator segment to 8, then how we can achieve it, we have to see. Let us suppose this is the coil north, this is the basically south, this is the north, this is south. Let's just take it on the other side. Take a big one to make it more clear understanding. This is north, and we are just making a segment like this. This is the commutator segment. This is north, this is south. Let's suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. here we are using the 8 segment coil, so the number of coils are basically 8. So just put like this. This is the coil like this fashion. This is the coil like this fashion. This is the coil like this fashion. Coils like this fashion. This is the coil like this fashion. This fashion. This fashion. And we are getting the coil like this fashion. And this shaft is rotated by the external prime mover. And whenever the constant magnetic field will cut the flux like this fashion, and we can say that this voltage is 0 volt, this is 0 volt. We can say that this is basically, let us suppose this is plus 20 volt, this is plus 10 volt, it is 0, it is 10 volt, it is minus 10 volt, it is minus 20, it is minus 10. And we have to put the brushes like this fashion. This is the brushes, and we are taking the output on the brushes like this. This is our basically load. This is the load is connected, the coil is moving, EMF is induced in the coil. As a result, the current will be flowing from this coil to the commutator part, and from the commutator to the brushes and to the load. This is the path flow. The current from the coil to the commutator. This is the current flow, and then to the brushes, then to the load. So the output voltage is 20, 10, 40 should be E naught, should be equals to 80. And if we are just making a coil name like this, suppose this is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and try to make the output waveform, then we can say that it is coming to be like this fashion. Very close. So this is basically, we can say that A, B, C, D, E, F like this. So whenever the commutator segment is increases, then we can say that the coil increases, then the ripple basically going down. This is our main objective of the conduction. So in a DC generator or a DC motor, number of commutator segments should be maximum. It should be a very large numbers. Otherwise, there will be a DC ripple, and which is being unnecessary, it generates the harmonics. So the condition is that for the conduction point of view, the number of commutator segments should be large as possible. If the segments are large, then the number of coils should be increases. It's a different issue, but commutator segment should be very large. So in this section, we have just understand like this, the basic cover like this. This is about the commutator segments. Here, this is called the armature winding. This is the armature winding, and this is we have basically the commutator segment. This is called the commutator segment. So we have seen that segment 1, 2, 3, like this, 4, 5. So these basically wires are coming from the rotor, a slot to the commutator segment like this. We have seen like this. So let us suppose if the north is there and the south is there, and the flux will be cut this rotating conductor, there will be current will be flowing, and it is going towards this commutator segment, and at this point there are two brush is connected, and we are taken the load and going towards the load. This is plus or minus. So this is the basic conduction of the DC generator or the DC motor. The conduction might be same, and we have seen that the commutator segments is maximum if possible in order to decrease the ripple content. Let us take the another conduction diagram that is called like this. Basically, here we can say that this is the commutator segment, segment 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the shaft which is rotated at the north, and the south will be there. Then this flux will cut this winding. This is called armature winding. This is called armature winding. field winding, sorry, armature winding, and this is called the field magnets. And we are just connecting the load at this side, plus minus, and this coil is rotated by speed of light. Similarly, this conduction we have seen like this. These are the commutator segments. This is the field winding. This is the armature winding. This is the shaft. And brushes is not is missing here. So I will draw it. This is the brushes, and this is going towards the load side. So this is the conduction diagram of this DC generator and the DC motor. I think you will enjoy this session. And in the next class, I am just discussing about the winding connection diagram of these DC machines. Thank you.